How did ancient man hoist 40 and 50 ton megalithic stone blocks 400 feet up the Great Pyramid during its construction? Would it surprise you to learn that the mainstream answer is that they used a huge ramp? The only problem with this idea, no traces of a ramp have ever been found. The ramp would have to have been 20 miles in length, and the building of such a feature would actually be as big as an undertaking as the Great Pyramid itself. So it doesn't really make sense that this would be the case. They must have manipulated gravity. But how? Ancient earthlings moved megalithic stone blocks found all over our planet, and nobody has any good idea how they done this. In fact, the best engineers in the world all agree there must be a technology that has become lost to history. There simply must have been a way in antiquity of manipulating gravitational forces, either with a technological method that has since been forgotten about, or Earth's place in the solar system was much different back in the day. Perhaps planet Mars acted as a sort of gravitational counterweight, allowing for the movement of megaliths that far exceed the 1,000-ton range. It is mind-numbing how this could have been done. And how exactly are experts portraying that these stones were moved thousands of years ago? Remember, these experts are following the mantra that our planet hasn't changed from that time until this time. They leave themselves blind to the truth, and their answers that they force upon the masses are often ridiculous. Wait till you hear this. Moving massive stone blocks such as the Western Stone, the Trilithon at Baalbek, and the Stone of the South. These have fascinated historians and engineers for centuries. And while we don't understand the exact methods used thousands of years ago, several theories and archaeological findings provide insights into the possible techniques employed by these ancient civilizations. The ability of these ancient civilizations to move and manipulate massive stone blocks remains one of the most impressive feats of engineering our world has ever been faced with. These stones, some weighing over 1,000 tons, were used in the construction of monumental structures all over the world that still stand to this day. Today we explore the various theories and methods that the mainstream say might have been used to achieve these incredible feats. The Western Stone, located in the western wall of the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. This is one of the largest building blocks ever used in human history. It measures approximately 13.6 metres long, 3 metres high, and has a depth of 4.6 metres. This stone is estimated to weigh in excess of 550 tonnes. But how was it moved to this place? One widely accepted theory is the use of levers and rollers. Mainstream historians state that workers could have used wooden beams as levers to lift the stone slightly, and then place cylindrical wooden rollers underneath. By applying force to the levers, they could roll the stone forward. Another theory suggests that ancient builders used a form of lubrication to reduce friction. This could have involved pouring water or oil on the ground to make it easier to slide the stone. And then there's the age-old conclusion of manpower. The sheer number of workers available could have played a significant role. Teams of workers pulling in unison, possibly using ropes and pulleys, they could generate enough force to move the stone. But then again, the Trilithon stones at Baalbek, Lebanon, consists of 3 colossal stones, each weighing approximately 800 tons. These stones form part of the foundations of the Temple of Jupiter. And how exactly did they hoist these megaliths into place? The mainstream answer: sledges and ramps. This theory is that the stones were placed on large wooden sledges and dragged along specifically constructed ramps. But wouldn't the weight of the stones simply destroy the wood? Anyway, the ramps could have been made of earth or stone and gradually inclined to the desired height. The use of counterweights is another possibility. By attaching ropes to the stone and using a system of pulleys and counterweights, workers may have balanced the weight and made it easier to move. Some historians believe that the stones were moved during the wet season when the ground was softer, and this would have made it easier to drag the stones with sledges. However, these wooden sledges, under the weight of 800-ton stone blocks, would have been destroyed by the weight of the stone. The Stone of the South, also located at Baalbek. This is one of the largest cut stones in the world, weighing an estimated 1,200 tonnes. It remains in the quarry, suggesting it was never actually moved to the construction site. The initial cutting and shaping of this stone would have required advanced quarrying techniques. Workers likely used metal tools to carve the stone out of the bedrock. To move this stone, workers might have constructed inclined ramps or planes, and these ramps would have allowed the stone to be moved gradually from the quarry to the construction site. Another mainstream answer as to the moving of this stone was the use of animals such as oxen and horses, and they could have provided additional pulling power. Harnessing multiple animals to a sledge or cart could generate significant force, but perhaps they would have needed 10,000 horses to move this stone that weighs 1,200 tonnes. What do you guys think about that? While the exact methods used by ancient civilizations to move these massive stones remains a mystery, the theories discussed provide possible explanations. The ingenuity and resourcefulness of ancient engineers allowed them to achieve these feats that continue to amaze us today. Whether this was achieved through the use of levers, rollers, lubrication, manpower, sledges, ramps, counterweights, animal power, or even the manipulation of gravity, these techniques demonstrate the incredible capabilities of our ancestors. But what do you guys think about this? Comments below, and as always, thank you for watching.